Hey guys, it's Calais and welcome back to my channel, and it's the beginning of the month, which means it's time for February notes. So February means that Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and usually for Valentine's Day I usually make a lot of baked goods to give to my loved ones, but however that's not really possible this year. So instead I decided that I'm going to make a cake for myself.
Treat yourself.
I eat a mostly plant-based diet. However, I haven't really dabbled a lot in the vegan baking world. I know I've done a lot of vegan cooking recipes, but I haven't really tried out any like vegan cakes or brownies or things like that. So for Valentine's Day, I want to make myself a vegan strawberry upside down cake. It seems, simple enough yet fancy and probably will look really good in a photo for Instagram or something. And so my first goal for this month is basically just to bake a cake for myself. And the second thing I desperately need to do this month is to reorganize the space that I am currently in. This space is basically a combination of where I record and edit, where I play games, where I work out, and also where the dogs hang out because they can't stand to not be in the same room as me. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cluttered. It's kind of hard to maneuver things. I always feel like I'm tripping over a wire or something's in the way, and it's just feels really messy and busy. And so this month I really want to rearrange this room and find a layout that really works for me. I kind of have an idea of how I want to rearrange it, but I think I'll have to wait until I actually get there to see if things work out. All right, and so with that, let's get into the video. Welcome to my messy kitchen. So for Valentine's Day, I wanted to do something kind of nice for myself, bake a little treat or something, but it's now a few days after Valentine's Day because there was a huge winter storm and we were without power and water for a few days, so Valentine's Day has passed, but I still kind of wanted to, treat myself, bake something nice, a little sweet, a little fancy. So today I'm going to be making a vegan, gluten-free strawberry upside down cake that I found from the blog, from my bowl. It's run by Caitlin Shoemaker. I love her YouTube channel, I love her Instagram, she's just great overall. I actually got her cookbook that just came out this year and I love it. I highly recommend her to anybody who's looking to eat more plants in their life. Just some really easy, some really healthy, delicious plant-based recipes that I constantly use. I use this book at least like once a week. And so for the cake today, we're going to need some coconut milk, sugar. The recipe calls for coconut sugar, but I just have regular sugar. Tapioca flour or starch. Again, I don't have that, so I'm just using cornstarch, some vanilla extract, some regular salt, some sea salt because it specifically asks for sea salt, apple cider vinegar, some oats that have been ground into oat flour, baking soda, some baking powder, and some fresh strawberries, or as fresh as you can get out of summer. And so if you want the exact measurements, I'm going to link the recipe below so you can check it out. Again, I love Caitlin, she's great. I highly recommend checking her out. I love everything that she puts out. So I have my baking sheet lined, and the next step is to remove the tops and slice the strawberries. So I try to eat mostly plant-based. I'm not 100% vegan. I actually started this thing about 3 years ago, where I would do 5 days of vegan eating, and then I would have 2 days to kind of be like my cheat day. Growing up in the South, there's a lot of barbecue, and I just personally really like butter. I would say mostly now I'm mostly in plant-based. I have vegan butter, oat milk, all that jazz. I do occasionally still have meat, but I think it's kind of important to limit how much animal products we use just because meat's not the best for the environment. So if you're thinking about maybe trying some more plant-based stuff, I highly recommend, doing your own research, trying to find some fun recipes or some fun cookbooks, right? And even if it's only like one day out of the week that you decide to not eat meat, hey, that's like still more than a lot of people are doing. So, you can all do baby steps and take it at your own pace, and kind of just what's important is making an effort. So our strawberries are sliced, and so we're now going to make the strawberry layer of the cake. To do that, we're going to be adding coconut milk, sugar, tapioca flour or the cornstarch, vanilla, and some salts, and we're going to whisk that together. And then after that's all incorporated, we're going to then fold in the strawberries into this mixture and spread it out onto the pan. I then added the wet and dry ingredients together, and once they were incorporated, the mixture was added to the strawberry layer, and I tried to make sure everything was smooth and there were no bubbles. Alright, so our cake's ready, so I'm going to put it in the oven for around 30 to 35 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up, and I'll see you guys when it's done. Alright, So our cake is done. I took it out of the oven, let it cool on a baking rack for about 5 minutes, and then did the careful procedure of removing it from the baking dish and praying that nothing stuck to the dish or the parchment paper itself. And the finished result was a little underwhelming. It seems like a lot of my strawberries decided to kind of mix in with the cake batter as opposed to just staying on top. I'm sure it still tastes really good because it smells delicious in here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a little piece and just see what it is. That's really good. Oh wow. You know, honestly, I can't really even tell that it's gluten-free. It tastes honestly just like a nice, like, creamy cake. It is more of like a strawberry cake than a strawberry upside down cake in itself, but yeah, honestly, the strawberries make this really nice, like, syrup that's kind of infused itself in the cake, and I actually really like it. I'm not mad. So delicious cake, maybe not the most Instagram worthy product. I definitely kind of want to maybe try this again because one, it's really good, but also I want to try and see if I can get the strawberry layer on the top because then it would look really, really pretty. But yeah, I really like it. I definitely will use this recipe again. It's honestly really, really good for being gluten-free and vegan. So yeah, that was me baking a vegan cake. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I definitely am surprised with how well it turned out just because my baking skills aren't the greatest. But yeah, so I'll do it for this little segment and I'll see you guys in the next one. So the first thing I did was remove everything from the room, and I got this tip from Rachel Metz. So basically, if you're trying to redecorate or rearrange a room, if you remove everything from it, it can really help you to get a feel for the space and really envision what you can or want to do without the limitations of the furniture already in it. I also put on a podcast that I've been binging lately, Chatty Broads, which features Becca M from The Bachelor. So if you're a Bachelor fan and want some more non-Chris Harrison Bachelor content, I highly recommend that. And I did decide to leave the desk in only because it's kind of a weird shape and I didn't really feel like taking it apart in order to fit it through the door itself. And after everything was out of the room, I just did a quick vacuum of the space because I love Jubilee to death, but that girl sheds like no other and there were just hairballs everywhere. Now honestly, the hardest part about redecorating this room was just getting that giant couch out of the closet by myself. I kind of had to get creative and figure out a way to maneuver it out, but eventually I was able to do it. And then I changed into my kimchi shirt because it turns out moving stuff in a sweatshirt isn't the best idea. And I initially wanted the couch to be up against this wall, but after kind of looking at the space that I had, I decided that it was better to put it back where the futon was initially, which is not the most exciting, design-wise or change-wise, but hey, it works for the space that I have, and I know that Jubilee will really appreciate this comfier couch, and then she won't sigh at me while she's laying on the floor, giving me guilty looks that I don't have a comfier bed for her. So with the couch done, the next step was to figure out where to put the desk, and surprise, I put it back to where it was originally, but however, I turned it so that way it would take up less space, and when I was sitting at it, it would feel a little bit more open and I would feel less trapped and kind of confined at the desk. And final steps were to just kind of figure out where to put everything else. And I did go back and forth on where to put the bike and the little white bookshelf that you're seeing. But however, I decided that the white bookshelf was kind of best where I put it initially, just because the way the window is and the height that it's at, I don't think I could put anything else there without it kind of blocking the natural light coming in. I also did some basic cable management just to make sure that everything could still reach and still be plugged in, but also trying to be as neat and organized as I could with the new space that my PC was in. Right, so I moved a few things around, but this is the finished space and I'm really excited with how it turned out. It doesn't look too different from what I showed you guys initially, but it does feel a lot more open and I don't feel like I'm going to be consistently tripping over wires or dogs. So I like it, I'm excited to see how it works out, I hope my dogs like it, and if in the future I decide to rearrange or change anything, I'll be sure to update you guys. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I do apologize that it is midway through March and I'm barely posting this video. Life is kind of stressful. I'm currently in the midst of finishing my master's thesis, so life's a little crazy right now, but I really do enjoy making these videos, so I'm going to continue making them. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Again, I'm going to be putting out more videos. I actually do have a video coming out pretty shortly after this one is posted about this season of The Bachelor and just how much of a mess it is. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe so you can get notified when it comes out. Also, I'm probably going to stick to doing around 2 things rather than 3 just because, again, I'm just kind of really busy right now, and doing 2 things is a lot easier for me to actually be able to complete them and post things on time. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot to anybody who watches it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.